Hello beautiful souls, I am Awakened Soul, and today we'll be looking at Ethereum, and within Ethereum we're going to find our next target. So let's go ahead and begin. I hope you're having a beautiful day. First thing is we're going to start off in our weekly, creating support and resistance lines at our highs and our lows. And I do use the pivot high and low indicator, change the settings to 5555. And this just gives you a clear view of where your highs and lows are by the exact price. And if you zoom in closely, you can see that we have wicked above the previous high, creating new higher highs. It's just something to keep in mind. My EMAs that I use is the 12 and the 26. 12 and 26 really important. So turn on your EMAs. So once you set your range within the weekly time frame, you could definitely go down to the daily. Within the daily time frame, you also want to set your highs and your lows, your daily trend. So let's begin setting our highs and lows. This is our previous low here. I'm surprised the pivot highs and lows is not marking it. Pretty surprised. Okay. It's okay. Well, that's my previous low. As you can see, those two candle wicks sit nicely there and then continue to the upside. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark my daily low, and we're gonna mark our daily highs here to mark our range. I'm gonna use the previous high and this high, and the next high will be the same as the weekly, so I don't have to mark it. So that's my daily range. So next, after I mark my daily range, I want to do my trend lines, connect, and I also like to use the higher high, lower low indicator. There you are. Let's turn off the pivot highs and lows. In this indicator, and I did change the settings. Let me show you. I set it up to 15, sometimes 30. You know, play with it, have fun with it, right? So within, sorry, wrong one. So within this indicator, it's gonna help me identify where my trend line begins. So usually I start with the highest high, and then I just go down to the next lower high. Right, nice trend line there. We'll keep it white, it's fine. And I mean, yeah, there's so many other peaks here, but I don't want to be so concerned with all the other peaks. Okay, so nice two trend lines in the daily, and we could get one from the bottom here. Just let's see where we can put just a nice trend line here, covering the candlesticks. So now that you have your range, your trend lines, go ahead and get a daily we want a daily target, right? How do we get our daily target? Based on a Joe target. So 2-point touches, and in between the 2-point touches. So that would be our daily target here. Let's change colors, make it nice and cute. Nope, I want green. Perfect. So that'll be my daily target if we go to the upside. And my next daily target would be here. And again, that is based on a Joe target, and if you want to learn how to get that, you could definitely join our free Telegram. And to the downside, if we would break to the downside, this would be my target here for the daily, and here. So those would be my daily targets. Remove this wick. Perfect. Now it's nice and straight. Okay, so we have our targets, we have our trend lines, we have our range. Let's move into the 4-hour. Within the 4-hour, I want you to see how the market moves in phases, right? Again, we have a contraction phase, we have a trend phase, we have contraction, we have trend, contraction, trend, contraction. So within this contraction zone where we're at right now, there's going to be a pattern playing out, and that's what we want to figure it out. So not only is the trend up in the daily, right? You want to know where your trend is, but price action is above my 12 EMA. So I will not short till price action comes, below my 12 EMA. And even then, check this out, right? It came down and it just came right back up. That's why it's so important to set your stop losses. Super important. I'm just tightening my targets here. Okay. So within this contraction phase, I want to see a pattern. I want to see what I could find. So I tend to go to the lower time frames. And as you can see, the higher high, lower low indicator, shows us a really nice highs and lows where you could actually place a nice trend line. And even here. Okay. What does that look like? A descending, like, megaphone, right? And those megaphones tend to break to the upside just based on that. So again, if the trend has gone, and if you're let it set, let it do its thing, just be patient, wait. If you're a scalper, I don't have it here. You can always use the VRVP and using your RSI. Oh, I did change the settings in RSI too. Those are my settings for the RSI. It is the stepping pattern and it's 63.5 and 32 if you want to copy my RSI. But if you want to play within the contraction phase, you most definitely could. I tend to do it as a scalper. So I would long under the PLC, make sure the RSI is on my side. I will short from above the PLC and making sure that the RSI is in my direction, playing the oversold, overbought game here. So anyhow, so with this descending megaphone, what's my target? Right, so we have our highs here. Let's go ahead and blow it up so we can know our highs here. And we have our lows here, right? This is the range that's playing within. So to get a target to the upside, we'll do a measure move. And then we just carry it to the top of this descending. And it's close to our daily Joe target. So, I mean, they're off by what? $20 or so. So this would be my target here. If this plays out, and how would I initiate, or how would I decide to get in? I would have to break my highs, right? Once I see a break, most likely the way the charts work, let me show you really quick, right? It's gonna break, retrace, and continue to the upside. So once you see the break, you can most definitely get in. No financial advice. Set your alarms on previous highs to see the break to the upside. And if it comes right, but you always have to have two scenarios. That's our bullish scenario that could be playing off today or soon. And if it decides to break down, it would break this daily trend line. And again, for me to take a short, it has to break this daily trend line, and my 12 and 26 EMAs have to cross to the downside. So go on the 4-hour, set your alarm on this major daily trend line. It's highlighted, right? And once you see rolling over your 12 and your 26 EMAs, you can most definitely consider that short, and you have your targets to the downside. Level to level, just play the game, have fun with it, and remember to do everything with love. But this is what I'm seeing right now. I hope this is helpful, and remember to do everything with love.